What's good, everybody? It's your boy D Nice with I2G Hip Hop, back at it with another review. Today we are reviewing the new album by Rick Ross, Set in Stone. Urge everyone like, comment, and subscribe. I2G Radio, letter I, number 2, letter G. Actually, I2G Hip Hop, excuse me. Letter I, number 2, letter G, Hip Hop, all one word. Can also check this out. The drop-down menu on the hip-hop site, www.illuminati2g.com, in the interviews section. Let's get right into it. Rick Ross has reached a stage in his career where expectations have shifted. No longer tasked with proving he belongs among hip-hop's elite, the founder of Maybach Music is now judged by how well he can sustain in this world that he spent nearly 2 decades constructing as far as his career. While many of his peers chase reinvention or streaming trends, Ross continues to define a formula that's made him one of rap's most dependable veterans. On the new album Set in Stone, Rose isn't interested in rewriting history. Instead, he builds for another monument to it. Across the album, Ross delivers exactly what longtime fans have come to expect: cinematic production, lavish lifestyle raps, tales of calculated business moves, and enough confidence to fill a boardroom. One of my favorite tracks on this, track 2, Mahogany Caskets, produced by Nephew. Really dope back and forth, dope beat by Nephew, and Rick and T.I. exchange bars. Really, for the most part, it is more of what you expect to hear from Rick Ross. Other highlights with the album: Set in Stone, Forever Rich, Boss Status, $1 Million Mind, and Legacy Built. Still, at times, the album Set in Stone occasionally falls victim to the same criticism that followed several of Ross's recent releases. While consistently enjoyable, the album rarely ventures outside of its comfort zone. The themes of wealth, power, and status remain compelling, but longtime listeners may find themselves wishing for more personal storytelling or greater sonic experimentation. Rick Ross is so comfortable within his lane that a few moments feel genuinely surprising. And really, with this album, outside of those tracks, those tracks, they're solid, but there's nothing groundbreaking. I can say Mahogany Caskets kind of separates itself from those other tracks. But the album kind of feels a bit repetitive. The production, as always, is always one of the strong points with Rick Ross. He has an incredible ear for beats. But really, with this album as a whole, it kind of feels rushed. Like it was, he had a deadline to meet to get this album out, and got it out, and it doesn't really. I've seen in other interviews, even Meek Mill has talked about his recording process. It's very detailed. He'll see the title of a song, and then he will craft the beat and craft the lyrics after he already has the song title, which is a very hard creative process to do for a lot of people. But with Rick Ross has become so good with it, and you see that sometimes with rappers. Maybe if they don't really write their rhymes or anything, you can kind of become a machine. When you are like that, though, you do run into the possibility of kind of same sounding and mundane tracks, and that's kind of been the theme of Set in Stone. It's a lot of good tracks, but nothing that really separates itself from things that Rick has done in the past. That familiarity, however, is also what makes the project somewhat of a success. Really, first week numbers have been very low, but Ross understands his audience and rarely sacrifices quality in the pursuit of relevance. Instead of attempting to sound like the next generation, continues sounding like himself, a rarity in today's rap landscape. Ultimately, Set in Stone isn't about reinvention, it's about reinforcement. Ross reaffirms that his luxurious cinematic approach to hip-hop still carries weight because it's rooted in confidence, consistency, and impeccable production. While it may not rank alongside Teflon Don, Deeper Than Rap, or God Forgives I Don't, it stands as another strong addition to one of rap's most reliable and consistent catalogs. I would say out of 5, I would give this a 3 out of 5 again. Is it his worst project? It's down there a bit, but even saying that with Ross, especially over the years, with the albums that he's put out and the production and the quality of the music, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just really doesn't separate itself from the rest of the pack of numerous albums now that Rick Ross has put out in his career. But the site, www.illuminati2g.com, I2G Hip Hop on YouTube, letter I, number 2, letter G, Hip Hop. If you're on Illuminati2g.com, there's a drop-down menu. You can click reviews. You'll find this review and many other reviews as well that we've done in 2026 and beyond, and years past. Continue beyond what we have in the future here. But D Nice, I2G Hip Hop signing off. Peace.